Why are we so fascinated with serial killers? Why do names like Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, and Jack the Ripper still send chills down our spines? And yet we can't look away. Every year, millions of people watch true crime documentaries, listen to murder podcasts, and read books about the darkest minds in history. But what drives this obsession? Is it fear, curiosity, or something deeper within human nature? Today, we're diving into the psychology, history, and media power behind our strange fascination with serial killers. Quick montage, mugshots, newspaper clippings, courtroom sketches, and cinematic close-ups of detectives examining clues. Let's uncover why humanity can't stop staring into the darkness. Section 1. A brief history of the serial killer obsession. Our fascination with serial killers isn't new. In fact, it dates back centuries. In Victorian England, the mysterious figure of Jack the Ripper terrified London's East End in 1888. The unknown killer who targeted women wasn't just a criminal. He became a media phenomenon. Newspapers sold millions of copies, and the story spread like wildfire across the world. For the first time, people were reading about gruesome murders as serialized stories, like real-life horror novels. It was the birth of the celebrity criminal. Fast forward to the 20th century, the rise of modern media gave birth to new monsters. Ed Gein, the inspiration for films like Psycho and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, shocked America in the 1950s. Then came Charles Manson in the 60s, Ted Bundy and John Wayne Gacy in the 70s, and Jeffrey Dahmer in the 90s. Each case became a cultural moment, mixing fear, curiosity, and morbid fascination. Visuals, movie posters, crime documentaries, old TV interviews. But this obsession isn't just about the killers. It's about us, the audience, and what their stories reveal about human psychology. Section 2, the psychology behind the fascination. So, why do we care? Why are we drawn to something so disturbing? Reason 1, curiosity about evil. Serial killers represent the extreme edge of human behavior, a dark mirror reflecting what we fear most, the capacity for cruelty and chaos. We wonder, how could someone do that? And could anyone be capable of such evil? Psychologists call this morbid curiosity, a desire to explore dangerous or disturbing topics in a safe way. Watching or reading about serial killers lets us confront fear without real risk. It's like riding a psychological roller coaster. Reason 2, the illusion of safety. When we watch true crime, we often subconsciously reassure ourselves, that could never happen to me. We analyze the victim's stories, the killer's patterns, the missed warning signs, as if understanding them could protect us. Reason 3, the detective instinct. Humans love solving puzzles. Serial killer stories give us complex mysteries filled with clues, motives, and twists. We become armchair detectives, piecing together evidence, spotting lies, and predicting who's guilty. It's not just fear. It's participation. Reason 4, media glamorization. Let's be honest, the media plays a huge role. Documentaries, podcasts, and Netflix dramas often turn killers into twisted celebrities. When we see charismatic figures like Ted Bundy portrayed by famous actors, it can blur the line between fear and fascination. This phenomenon is called celebrity criminal syndrome. The more we hear about them, the more they seem larger than life, almost like movie villains instead of real people who caused real pain. Section 3, the role of Hollywood and media. Hollywood has shaped how we think about serial killers, and not always in accurate ways. Films like Silence of the Lambs, CVD and Mindhunter turned killers into symbols of intelligence and mystery. The cold, calculating villain became a cinematic archetype. Even shows like Dexter added a twist, making the killer the hero. This raises an ethical question. Are we normalizing or even romanticizing murderers? Social media adds another layer. When real criminals gain online fan pages, documentaries trend worldwide, and memes circulate about their cases. It shows how entertainment has blurred with reality. Some argue it's disrespectful to the victims. Others say it's human nature to study evil to understand it, or to prevent it. Either way, The line between education and exploitation gets thinner every year. Section 4. Science and Brain Studies. Behind every serial killer story lies the question, are they born or made? Neuroscientists have discovered that many serial killers show abnormalities in the prefrontal cortex, the area that controls empathy, impulse, and moral judgment. In other words, their brains may process emotions differently, but environment also plays a huge role. Childhood abuse, neglect, or trauma often appear in their backgrounds. When nature and nurture collide, the result can be catastrophic. However, understanding the science doesn't excuse their actions. It simply helps us grasp why some humans go so far, beyond normal boundaries. And maybe deep down, our fascination comes from wanting to find answers, to make sense of the senseless. Section 5. True crime as comfort and community. Millions of people find comfort in true crime stories. Sounds strange, right? But psychologists have an explanation. True crime gives people, especially women, a sense of control over fear. By learning about real cases, they feel more aware and prepared. It's like rehearsing survival in their minds. Online communities have also transformed true crime into a shared experience. People discuss theories, raise awareness for cold cases, and even help solve real crimes. Take the case of the Golden State Killer, for example. An amateur genealogist helped authorities identify him decades later. So, our fascination can sometimes lead to justice. Section 6. Why we can't look away. Our obsession with serial killers sits at the crossroads of fear, curiosity, and empathy. We are terrified of what they do, yet drawn to understand it. In many ways, studying killers helps us understand ourselves. It forces us to question morality, evil, and the boundaries of human nature. But there's also a darker side. When fascination becomes fixation, and killers become pop culture icons, that's when we risk losing empathy for the victims and turning real suffering into entertainment. Facing the darkness. So why are we so fascinated with serial killers? Maybe because they represent everything we're afraid of and everything we can't understand. They force us to confront the thin line between good and evil, sanity and madness, fascination and fear. As long as humans crave stories about power, danger, and mystery, serial killers will continue to haunt our screens and our imaginations. But perhaps the real question isn't why we're fascinated by them. It's what that fascination says about us. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into history and human psychology.